Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Matchday -1 press conference ahead of our friendly against West Ham tomorrow. I'm delighted to be joined by our head coach, Ange Postecoglou, and our forward, Heung-min. We'll take questions from the room. Who would like to start us off? Tom?
Hi Ange, this is the first time we've had a chance to speak to you since you've had a conversation with Harry. How did it go? And
question one,
did you get a
question one. Yeah, good chat with Harry, and as I said before, nothing earth-shattering or defining from sort of, I guess, what people are seeking. Just a good chat. Sort of introduced myself, and we spoke mainly about the club and kind of where he thinks it's at and where he's, where he thinks we can sort of improve things, and training ever since. It's been good.
Gail.
The journalist who's spoken to you since I came out here said that you can be pretty persuasive and you're pretty quick about it in the way that you sell your vision. So how confident are you got your vision over to him, and how confident are you that he wants to be part of it?
It's not a specific vision for one person. It's about the group, and that's I think me and Harry are perfectly aligned in that. We want to see a successful team this year. So for me, it's about really focusing on everybody and making sure that we kind of set the environment in the right way. And in terms of the players, they've been brilliant so far, really receptive and open-minded about what we're trying to do, and coaches have been brilliant in delivering that message. So it's been as positive as you can. It's pre-season, I think everyone thinks they have a great pre-season till the games start, but so far it's been good.
Matt?
Hello, Ange. Have you any indication from Harry whether you've got him for the season? You spoke on Monday about getting on your train. If you're not on your train, then you can get left behind. Have you got an indication that he's with you for this season?
Again, I said the discussion wasn't really about that. It was more about, like I said, the collective and what we're doing. Harry's the same as all the other players, It's not something I ask when they walk through the door, have you got a ticket or not? It's just about, as we go along, we're working hard as a group, and, some will be on for the whole journey, the others won't. But a lot of that sort of gets decided along the way. It's not something that I'm sitting down and, demanding from people right at the outset. The reality of it is, we've got a month or so before the season starts, a bit less actually, and transfer window's still open for a while, so we'll see how it all transpires.
Does the constant noise from Munich bother you?
Me personally, no one's spoken to me from Munich.
No, but Uli Ernest was talking publicly about Kane yesterday. Does that not necessarily bother you, but does it bother the atmosphere and environment that you created?
Look, no one's hasn't been a discussion in the hallways. And there are a lot of people who know Harry better than me, but he's not going to get fazed by anything. He's here, and while he's here, he's totally committed to what we're doing, and that's the way I've seen things. In terms of me, it has zero impact on me. If other people, other clubs want to talk about our contracted players, that's more of an issue for them than us.
Charlie?
You said it's had zero impact on you. Do you feel it's something that's present among the group, or are you able to just...
To be fair, since the last press conference, I haven't had a discussion about it until the next one. I probably won't mention it again, which is fair enough. That's kind of where people outside the group kind of are more focused on. But I said at the first press conference, I've got a certain amount of time to get this team right for the start of the season, and I'm not going to sort of wait till things become certain about anything to start that process. We needed to start it straight away, and that's what we've done. And that's what we'll keep doing. Doesn't mean that, like I said, every time I come to a press conference I won't have to answer questions about it, but in between, certainly no focus on us.
Welcome home, Ange. How does it feel to come back to Australia and play your first game in charge of Tottenham on home soil?
Yeah, pretty bizarre to be fair. Could have gone anywhere in the world and ended up sort of, 4.5 hours from my home anyway, but back in Australia, which is great. Chuffed a bit that this is going to be our sort of first official game, and I always enjoy. Obviously I came here with Celtic last year and back to Australia, but I knew the lads would enjoy it here. The weather's beautiful, it's been great, and I think they would enjoy the environment here, and I think they have. And it's important for us. It's an important sort of tour for us because we get to spend some time together as a group, get to know one another, and so far it's been positive.
What do you envision success will look like under you in your first season in charge?
Again, I think I said in the first press conference, I think my major barometer will be our fans. If our fans are happy at the end of the year, we've done a good job.
Okay. Obviously, you can see from just this room alone at the moment that your arrival here is a big deal and causing a lot of excitement in Australia and for fans of Australian football. Have you had a moment to think about, what your position at one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League is going to do, sort of for the awareness of Australian football around the country?
Yeah, look, it's fair to say that since the appointment, I've garnered. There's been a fair bit of attention, which is great. I mean, again, not so much for me personally, but for the game here in Australia, absolutely. It's been a big sort of 12 months for the game itself. The Socceroos were brilliant at the World Cup. We've got the FIFA Women's World Cup about to start, which is going to be great for the nation. And so any focus there is on football is brilliant. And if I can sort of add to that a little bit, it's great. And obviously, I take great pride in that.
You coached some really big teams around the A-League and the NSL and the Socceroos as well. And just from your first few weeks at the helm of Tottenham, which is a very different environment, can you feel any similarities or big differences in the early weeks of those different teams and taking over clubs at home?
Yeah, look, there's always differences. I mean, I've been lucky enough as a manager to coach in different countries, different levels, and I've enjoyed every experience. Every experience has made me a better manager, more important, a better person. Because you're dealing with different people from different backgrounds, and I enjoy every bit of it. I've always enjoyed the starts of every job I've had, and this is no different. Working with some quality people, it's a great group. We've got some massive challenges ahead of us, but as I said, so far the whole group's been really receptive, and we're really looking forward to it. We've got some fantastic footballers, and more importantly, some fantastic people who are happen to be great footballers at the club, and looking forward to working with them.
Ali.
Ange, you brought 31 players out here, another 6 senior players back at home. What number do you kind of roughly want to get that squad down to at the end of the transfer?
Yeah, fair to say less than that. I don't think that's helpful for anyone, the players included, and that's where things I think will kind of transpire. But I just thought for this it was really important. My view on all these things has always been to treat everyone the same. Whether they're going to be short term, medium term, long term. At the moment, they're all part of our club, and because they're part of our club, I don't like to differentiate. So, we brought a group across that are all healthy and fit and can play. And will they all be there at the start of the year? Unlikely, very unlikely. But that doesn't mean that I treat them differently now. It's just not the way I work. So we'll see. We'll obviously, like I said, the players themselves, will probably, look for opportunities if they don't think they're going to get one here. And whenever that sort of comes across my desk, I'll sort of discuss with the players and make the decision that's best for all parties.
Do you prefer a smaller squad, about 25?
Yeah, look, obviously, we want to make it a squad that's going to be robust enough to play the football. The exact number's not really important, but from our perspective, we're going to play football a certain way, and to do that, it's going to require a really strong squad, not just a strong 11. So, what that magic number is, we'll see.
Just one for Sonny as well. Obviously, I know he's sat next to you, but what have you made of the early days?
Only good things, mate.
What have you made of your conversations with him so far, and the training as well?
No, I mean it's been fantastic. Obviously, we met first time in 2015. Obviously, we lost against Australia, so it was. It wasn't the best idea. No, but I mean, I could see that time as well. They were playing fantastic. So I mean, I'm really looking forward to play on our Gaffer. So the training been fantastic. Everyone looked really sharp, and everyone looked really, really happy. What Gaffer said is everyone is working really, really hard. So I'm looking forward to it.
And just interested in your read at the moment of the health of Australian football. You mentioned the Socceroos. Big tournament kicking off on the other side of the country on Wednesday as well, and looks like the A-League's on track for a pretty big outbound transfer record. A lot of players making decent moves to Europe, it seems. Where do you think the game's at the moment? Have being overseas for so long given you a different perspective on that?
No, not really. I mean, I've always sort of still kept tabs on it, but where it is right now, it's where it's been many times, mate. It's what happens from now on, you know. Australian football's been pretty good always at making a mark, you know. Sonny mentioned 2015, we won the Asian Cup and barely a ripple. So hopefully what it means now is, particularly with the girls, it's getting great exposure all over the world, in the UK, you know, great exposure over there and great chance to make an impact. As I said, the Socceroos I thought were brilliant at the World Cup. Like you said, the A-Leagues produces some good young players. It's about the game sort of taking advantage of that and making an indelible sort of footprint in the sporting landscape here, which we know is always challenging. So yeah, you know, it's where it's been a lot of times, and hopefully this time it sort of takes advantage of it.
Do you think it might be different this time? I know you were disappointed by the fact that 2015 didn't leave the mark that you hoped or thought that it would. The World Cup's a bigger thing than an Asian Cup. There's also no guarantees that will happen either.
No. Yeah, don't know.
Okay.
I guess this is a question for both of you. Ange, there's been lots of chat about you and Harry Kane, but this is the duo that I'm excited to see. Asia Cup winning manager, and in my opinion...
I don't play, mate, you realise that.
Yeah, I know, but this is I'm ready to see you work your magic with, in my opinion, the greatest Asian footballer of all time. So I guess it's a question for both of you. How excited are you to get to work together, particularly for you, Sonny, with a manager that plays beautiful attacking football?
No, I mean, I said before, I mean, I'm looking really forward to it. And as soon as when he announced the manager, I was really, really happy about it, because obviously we followed also the Scottish league, and Celtic was dominating the league. So I'm still looking really, really forward to it. And look, what I said is 2015 still bring it back. So I'm just looking forward to it, helping the team, helping the group, where it belongs. So I mean, it's amazing, fantastic attacking football. I was looking forward to it. So this season will be. I hope we can make a special things all together.
Simon.
And can I just ask what the situation is with Hugo Lloris? What those sort of conversations were, where it stands with his Tottenham future?
Yeah, you know, a good chat with Hugo. I mean, he's been an outstanding servant for this football club for quite a long time. Captain of the club. You know, he's made an indelible mark at Tottenham Football Club, and I had a chat to him, and you know, I think he felt, obviously that, you know, he's hoping for another move somewhere else where he can play and sort of begin the next phase of his career. And I had a good chat with him, and you know, I just really left it up to him whether he wanted to come along, because I think he deserves that respect, you know, to sort of garner the direction of his own future because of his standing. I just think he's been in, and you know, look, I've only sort of had 2 or 3 sort of chats with him, but even at training, I can see he's just outstanding. Obviously goalkeeper, but outstanding human being as well. And like I said, from my perspective, it was, you know, we had a good open discussion. He just felt it'd be better for him, hopefully a move imminent, that rather than bringing him sort of halfway across the world, that he stays back at, you know, the training ground and works there and be ready for his next opportunity. But you know, it doesn't diminish his contribution to the football club. You know, it's the hardest thing for footballers. Sometimes you can't write your ending. It's probably not the way he wanted to finish his career at Tottenham with everything he's contributed. But at the same time, I don't think it needs to be anything but a positive sort of outcome, in that, you know, he leaves as somebody who's made a mark, you know, at a very big football club. And, you know, for all players, I guess that's what they're looking for.
He was obviously captain for a long time. Have you decided on a new captain in the pre-season?
No, not yet. Again, you know, it's about me sort of getting to know the group and allowing that. You know, some of those things are better off you let them sort of grow sort of organically rather than forcing things and having preconceived ideas. You know, I just want to see how the group works. Like I said, so far the whole group has been really you know, really strong in terms of committing to what we're going to do, and that's what you want to see. And then within that, you know, you see individuals who, you know, will look to lead, and they all lead in different ways. It doesn't always mean it's kind of the highest profile or the loudest. It's sometimes just by actions, and what I'm looking for is hopefully leadership within the whole group. Guys who are prepared to, what we're about to embark on, take that responsibility.
Just one for Son, if that's okay. You were sort of linked earlier on in the summer with a move to Saudi Arabia, like a lot of players are. I just wonder if you could clear up what the situation with that was, and if it was ever something that
Yeah, probably. If I want to go there, I'll be not here. So, no, look, I mean, I love being playing football. Obviously, money is also important, but I mean, I dream for playing Premier League, and still, I think a lot of things to let it behind. So, I'm looking forward to it this season, and obviously, especially last season where I really suffer with physically. So this is not Sonny, so that I know. So I want to prove that this season that I'm the Sonny that we all know. So I want to prove that myself. Also I want to give the club back that where I belong. So I mean, Saudi, obviously most people are going at the moment, which is really, really interesting. But I mean, Premier League is still, for me, it's a dream to play for it. So I'm looking forward for this season.
James.
And if Hugo's move away from the club does go through, would you like to add another goalkeeper to the squad, or are you happy with the depth in that position?
No, so far we're, obviously Fraser's not with us as well. He's kind of recovering from his injury, but fair to say, Guillermo Vicario has settled in really well with the group. Good guy, and exceptional goalkeeper. And at the moment, I'm pretty comfortable. Fair to say, my interests are kind of elsewhere in terms of incoming rather than goalkeepers at the moment.
I think since you last spoke, the club have confirmed the signing of Manor. Just wondered if you could give us some thoughts on him, where he fits into your plans, and how he fits your kind of style and philosophy of play.
Yeah, no, look, great to get Manor in. Somebody who kind of was identified pretty early as, people are well aware of kind of the way I sort of set my teams up, and those attacking positions, particularly the wide attacking positions, are really important. So you look for players who kind of have those characteristics. And look, he's also a young guy, really ambitious. I love working with players who still have a great sort of desire and fire in the belly to achieve. And the same way Sonny spoke about, sort of still wanting to show people what he's all about at Premier League level. Bringing in guys like Manor and. To be fair, Matters and three boys who brought in have added that energy, which is great. And I'm sure he'll contribute, he'll learn and develop. He's got some fantastic role models at the club already to sort of learn off, and I'm sure he'll be a good contributor for us.
Okay.
And in the last 5 years, you've gone from stepping away from the national team to titles in Japan and Scotland, and now you're at Tottenham. Do you ever sit back and, I guess, reflect on how drastically life has changed and how much success you've had in that time?
No, mate, because it's just just finding houses to live is driving me nuts. I've moved the family around, but we've enjoyed all of it. We loved living in Japan. It was totally different, obviously, from living in Oz and as a family. And then going to Scotland was a fantastic experience, and now moving to London. So. We made a decision when we left. We kind of left the Socceroos that as a family we just see where the game took us. I mean, it's the beauty of football. It takes you to all different parts, and we've enjoyed living in different places. Like I said, I think it gives us a sort of a different sort of perspective about life when you're kind of living in different places and different languages. Japan, Scotland, just. Don't understand what they're saying, I haven't really had a chance to reflect, to be fair, but at the same time you kind of understand that it only happens if kind of totally focused on what's in front of me right now and working hard, and I've got a great responsibility. It's a massive football club. It is a massive football club. It's got following all over the world. It's got a glorious history, and when you take a position, you're excited, but also understand there's a massive responsibility there for me to bring success here. So so that sort of allows you to sort of be pretty narrow-minded about, what you're thinking about. There'll be time for reflection, and it's great sort of sharing it with the people that are closest to you, but ultimately it's about, the task at hand.
Okay, we've only got time for 3 more, so we're going to go to the 2 gentlemen there and then finish at the back, please.
You mentioned some signings before, and 10 years ago you were playing in the salary cap environment. How you enjoying sort of the scouting and transfer market in a Premier League environment?
Yeah, it's all kind of relative. I've said that before, that people are kind of not dismissive, but they kind of think that success at a lower level is somehow easier than the higher level, but you're always competing against comparable sort of competition. So every time I've sort of moved, it's allowed me to sort of work with a different type of player, a different level of player. And it's fair to say it's the same here. I have access to some fantastic footballers here at the club that I can work with and hopefully try and develop. We can bring in some quality players, but so can every other Premier League club. So from that perspective, it's just about, like I said, trying to do what I do in the best manner possible to make us competitive. And I kind of, in terms of the kind of players we bring in, for me it's still a big thing about the kind of people they are more than the kind of players, because the world is full of fantastic footballers. It's whether they fit into the kind of game I want to play, and in terms of people, whether they fit into the environment I want to create.
You spoke about the experience you had in London, the Ashes, Wimbledon. Not a bad start to life in a new city.
Yeah, I've been working as well, so it's not just but it was great just to sort of do a couple of things that kind of are on a bucket list when they're on your doorstep. We're pretty blessed growing up in Australia. Particularly me in Melbourne, I had the best of most codes right on my doorstep. To be in London, that's the beauty of it, particularly this time of the year. But I enjoyed the days, both great days, and gave me a chance to sort of switch off momentarily from what's more important.
Ange, a lot of players like to visualise success, whether that be holding up trophies or whatnot. What about you as a manager, when you think about you and Tottenham, what you can achieve together, what comes to your mind?
Yeah, again, look, nothing's really changed in the way I do things. I mean, what I do and try and envisage is the team playing a certain way. That's what drives me. I want the team to play football that is exciting for the fans and ultimately bring success. And but all these kind of things are all step-by-step process for me. I'm fairly, like I said, narrow-minded in just focusing on the present and making sure that we're doing the best we can. I keep saying to the players, every day is an opportunity for us to improve, me included. Every training session is an opportunity for us to get a little bit better, and with the final goal in mind, like I said, to produce a team that hopefully plays the football that brings us success.
And final one at the back, please.
Yeah, Andrew, I was just going to say, mate, we've heard you speak a lot about your dad and the influence he's had on your football career. What would you say to you now, sitting up here as a Premier League manager?
Yeah, don't stuff it up, mate. He's for all of us, there's always people in our lives. You realise that you don't sit here. I mean, Sonny's probably the same. He's got family, his dad. All these people who you sort of make the sacrifices along the way. When you're in this position, a lot of it is about just sort of trying to pay back for that. Because none of it would have happened without their sacrifices. And my dad, my mum, I had a really happy childhood, but I know that they were working hard to make sure that I didn't realise just how tough it was for us as a family. So, I've said before that he's been the greatest influence in my life. He still is. He's not around anymore, but he was also a hard man, mate, hard to please. So, he'd pat me on the back, but then give me a smack on the head as well, just to make sure that I'm stay focused on what's important. And he always said, you do these things for other people, and I'm doing it for my family now, my boys and my wife and all those people.
Thanks for your time, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, Sonny.
All good.
Thanks,
Sonny.